country whose people have been suffering from events and natural disasters beyond their control, there still exists a pride in accomplishing things they can control. The people who've made the commitment to help here, whether they're Army doctors, medical specialists, diplomats, or Salvadorans themselves, are all humanitarians in the highest sense of the word, getting little recognition for what they do. At the invitation of these people, the story you're about to see documents a visit by Amputee Soccer International to El Salvador for a week in May of 1987. Join with us in experiencing the people, places, and events surrounding the celebration of a very special soccer match that made this story possible.
Almost every aspect of life in El Salvador is in crisis to one degree or other. And I think if you keep going back to the source of that problem, you keep coming back to the political system. And to the extent that the people of El Salvador are able to establish a functioning constitutional democratic political system, I think that some of the other problems will be able to be worked out. That includes the human rights problem, economic problem, the problem of war. On October 10th, we experienced a major earthquake that destroyed not only the chancery of the embassy here, but most of the infrastructure of the government. About half of the government ministries were destroyed, and then large sections of the city that had lower and lower middle class housing were totally demolished. We estimate that the number of casualties, people killed, was between 1,000 and 1,500. Some 250,000 were left homeless. The economy remains an area of major concern to us, and I think we all recognize the relationship between improving the conditions of life for the people of El Salvador and what were the origins of the war. So that as the war starts to draw down, we've been putting more and more emphasis on trying to help the Salvadorans develop a functioning economic system that can provide them with a decent standard of living. In the past 36 months, since the guerrillas started using indiscriminate landmine warfare in El Salvador, we've suffered approximately 1,700 landmine victims who have survived the explosions. That is, we have about 1,700 amputees in El Salvador now, about 600 of whom are civilians. And of those 600, some 200 are children below the age of 15. I expect that by the end of this year, we'll have over 2,000 amputees. Now, when you think about the magnitude of this disaster, it sort of overwhelms you. Given the problems that El Salvador has in every other account, I think that we ourselves will be very hard-pressed to suddenly deal with 2,000 amputees in terms of our rehabilitation infrastructure, our medical capability, and the long-term vocational rehabilitation of these people. I see the economic situation very difficult. There is a lack of confidence on the private sector as far as investment is concerned, not only locally, but of course from international investors. That's a completely different story. There's no confidence in the country whatsoever. We are here, we're locals, we have to remain here and we have to work. We have to work with the problems and we have to work to solve the problems that we have. If your country had the problems we have, you would stay there and stick it out and try to solve the problems. I'm not going to say that sometimes I don't get frustrated. Yes, you do. Everybody does. But if we are going to solve our problems, the only way we are going to do it is facing it and not turning our backs to it and running away from them. The type of help we need is what you are doing. with a special type of people who need special help.
We had bad times during the years 80 to 83, and that was maybe the most critical time in Salvador. Everybody was trying to move out from El Salvador, but lately in the years 84, 86, that just ended, many people that we have been serving have come back to Salvador. In case of the soccer from Amputee soccer, really we feel that it is more than help. It's a feeling that we have to have because of so many people that have lost, particularly their lives, civilians or not, military people or whatever they are. Our whole effort down here was to get these amputees out of wheelchairs and moving, to make them think that there is a normal life, that just because you lost a leg doesn't mean that everything has come to a stop. And that was our whole goal. And I'm hoping that when we pull out of here, that the Salvadorans will keep this thing going, and it will become that everyone, no matter how handicapped they are, will have the opportunity to be a normal person. And I'm proud of the fact that this is an opportunity to show to the American people and the people of the world that besides people trying to kill each other, there are other people down here trying to make things go for those that unfortunately have to be in the way of the mind at the wrong time. So that's our whole goal, is to try and teach these people, or not teach them, just give them an opportunity to be normal people.
I am one of the 6 technicians who we are in Serprofa. We start this course in April of 1985. We 6 students start this course. 4 of them was military, and 2 of them is civilian. I am civilian, and we make 12 processes a week. We receive our training here in Serprofa, and the training given for American accessories of the medical training group humanitarian. There are many people who is waiting for a processes. I think maybe it's 1,500, or I think maybe a little more. I am very happy to work and making help to my people for for their rehabilitation program. And well, I don't know, I can explain with my words, but I am very happy. I am very happy to be here in Serprofa and help to my friends and all my brothers too.
Y así fue como yo he quedado y estoy participando ahorita en el equipo que podemos ir a jugar a los Estados Unidos.
Started out after I lost my limb. I didn't really like sports, but I got started in this when they had as part of the rehabilitation program. The first day I made 4 goals, and since then I haven't been able to get away from it. I can't get enough of it.
Supuestamente, viendo el esfuerzo de nosotros mismos, tanto como el que sea que esté bueno o esté amputado de un pie, pero el esfuerzo siempre lo tenemos, lo mismo, la capacidad de jugar fútbol.
We depend a lot more on our strength, on upper body strength, and on balance than the regular football players, and we compensate with it by our upper body strength.
Todo fue a iniciativa de los asesores médicos norteamericanos que trajeron la idea de Estados Unidos para ver si era posible introducir este deporte en futbolistas amputados de la Fuerza Armada.
Everything was the idea of the medical advisors in the United States who brought the idea here to start the football league.
Tenemos pensado entrenar 2 horas por la mañana y 2 horas por la tarde, desde el lunes 25 de mayo hasta la semana que nos vayamos a ir en agosto para Estados Unidos.
We have planned now to start the 25th of May with a 2-hour practice in the morning and a 2-hour practice in the afternoon every day. Bueno, me sentí muy satisfecho porque va desde hace meses, se puede decir que están con eso de que se iban a sacar una selección de todos los equipos para llevarlos a participar a los Estados Unidos. Entonces cuando yo me di cuenta de eso, claro, yo me sentí un poco emocionado y he tratado la manera de ver cómo salgo adelante para poder ir a participar a eso. When they announced earlier they were going to have an all-star team and the all-star team would be participating in the tournament in the United States, of course it really interested everyone, and I figured that if I worked hard and played hard that I would have a chance of being selected, and that's the way it came out. Yesterday when they named me a member of the team, it was a very emotional time, and it made all the work worthwhile. Problems in El Salvador still exist. But what you've seen are the results of some people trying to make a difference. We hope you've gained a greater insight into this new rehabilitation sport of amputee soccer. This program is helping to lift people's morale and provides a promise of hope for a more active, dignified life. But more than that, we've tried to provide you with the opportunity to see for yourself the inspirational achievements that have transcended sports or politics. In a village clearing, where children learn how to blow bubbles in the wind, you begin to realize that children are children anywhere. In a prosthetic clinic, where a 19-year-old soldier straps on his first artificial leg, enabling him to stand on 2 feet for the first time in almost 2 years. Or the thrill of success attained on the field of athletics that allows him to continue in a sport that he's always loved. Maybe recognition for the effort of the people you have just seen here isn't so important. After all, these dedicated people have helped improve the self-confidence and image of all those around them. And in return, they have triumphed together. To them and their accomplishments, we are all grateful.